Hey guys, I'm back with another video. So, gonna do another controversial topic today. So if you are easily triggered, are a feminist or a liberal, I suggest you hit the exit button right now. If you don't say I didn't warn you. So, today we're going to talk about why I personally feel that oppression of women no longer exists, but the oppression of men does. So, let's just dive right in, guys. One reason I think that the male, oppression of men is real, and that female oppression is not, is if we look at our court systems. In custody cases, women are more likely to gain custody of their children than men. Even when the man can prove that the woman is unfit to raise the children, or she is a substance abuser who cannot provide basic needs for the kids like food, clothes, proper shelter, things like that the children need. And even in those cases, fathers are more likely to not gain custody even though he's proven the mother to be unfit to properly raise those children. And even in the case of the father getting custody, whether it's physical, legal, any type of custody like that, there is a high probability that the woman will be made to pay child support to the husband. But even in those cases, women who do not pay child support are not jailed, whereas men who are ordered to pay child support and don't are jailed. And don't tell me men don't get jailed for child support, because I know some people through acquaintances that have been either in jail once or twice for not paying, or are constantly in and out of jail for not paying child support. So it does happen, especially in the state of Indiana, which is where I live. It happens quite often. Another reason that I believe that men are way more oppressed than women in today's society is with the government. And for me to better explain this, we're going to look at two scenarios, a male and a female. Every other factor is the same except for their gender. So you've got, we'll say the male's name is John. So you've got John over here, single father, 2 kids, has legal physical custody of his 2 kids. And he's divorced from their mother because she had substance abuse issues. So we're going to say that this is the case where John actually won in court and got custody of his kids. And then we got, let's say, Beth over here. And Beth is a single mother, 2 kids, same exact scenario, divorced from her husband because he had substance abuse issues. So obviously he didn't get custody of the kids. Well, both John and Beth struggle financially to help take care of their children. But it was not good for the kids to go to either the other significant others in the situation. Well, John over here applies for welfare and some other government assistance programs to take care of his kids. Gets denied, and he's right below that cutoff point, and they tell him that he makes enough money. While Beth over here, who makes, like I said, same exact scenarios, Beth makes the same amount as John. And so she applies for government assistance, welfare, food stamps, all that, and gets approved. And then take into consideration here, they're both making the exact same income. Why do you think that Beth got approved but John didn't? It has a lot to do with the fact that Beth over here is a female and John is a male. Men are going to be less likely to get welfare as single fathers. I've seen it happen. I've seen it numerous times where that is the case. That men who are raising their children cannot get assistance from the government. Whereas a woman, she can pop out as many kids as she wants, has no way of taking care of them except for the almighty government dollar, which our taxes go into. So again, just an example of why men are being oppressed in our governmental system, because they're being told, oh, well, you're the one that wanted custody of your kids, now you need to take care of them, but that means working a second job, or hell, even give them to your ex, even though she has substance abuse issues, let her take care of them. Another way that men are being oppressed in our system is in terms of like legal justice wise, is men, even though they make up more rapes if you count the prison rape system, we're not counting that in there when it comes to factoring in rape, because then that over dominantly proves that men are more likely to be raped than a woman. So we don't want that, because then that feeds into the agenda of women are physically oppressed. And I asked somebody last night, had posted on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Facebook, to ask some people, would you watch this video if I posted it? And somebody actually told me last night that there is a large number of unreported rapes. And I simply asked her one question, and, she actually ended up deleting her whole comment altogether, as I've noticed. And she said, well, prison rapes are usually happening by other men. And I was like, okay, so that doesn't make a difference. It's still rape nonetheless. So looking at prison rapes, it makes statistics higher. Well, I also made some other comments, and she tried to argue with me. And at the very end, before she got, I guess you could say, triggered and deleted all her comments that she had put, I asked her if all these rapes go under, was one of the last things I asked her. I was like, if all these rapes go unreported, then how do we have data on unreported rapes when you can't put unbiased data out without these rapes being reported to somebody? So you can't say unreported rapes, because if a rape is reported to a crisis pregnancy, to a rape crisis center, it's still reported. Just because it didn't get reported to the police does not mean it's unreported. So if you really want to look at data, you need to look at rapes that are unreported to police, not unreported rapes altogether, because looking at unreported rapes, the data obviously is going to be inaccurate, because these rapes are reported to somebody for us to have this data, obviously. Another comment, she kept saying about how women are oppressed and men aren't, and my final comment to her, and this is really what triggered her, was, name one thing a woman can't do that a man can. And I told her, don't worry, I have all night. You can Google whatever you need to find to fit your agenda. And that was when she deleted her comment. On the subject of rape and men, when it comes to men and rape, men are more often than not the ones accused. But here's the thing. When a woman falsely accuses a man of rape, she is automatically believed. And even when when it's proven to be a false accusation, in the cases that it's proven to be false, the woman is typically never charged with filing a false police report, which technically, I know in the United States is a crime. So the woman should face jail time. She doesn't. But here's the thing. Men who are accused have their entire life ruined, and being denied jobs, being denied places to live, scrutiny from the people he meets out on the streets, even though it was proved that the woman made a false claim. But the woman does not face that same social scrutiny when she falsely accuses a man. Okay, the video's getting a little long, guys, so I'm going to kind of cut it short, but I'm going to go over a couple other points that I wanted to make. And men are between 40 and 45% of the domestic violence statistics. Somebody actually quoted that to me earlier. I was not aware of that, and that's an alarming number to me. That 40 to 45% of men are abused, whether it's in a heterosexual relationship or a same-sex relationship. And yet there is a insignificant number of domestic violence shelters for men where you can go to almost any street corner and find somewhere that will help a woman get out of a domestic violence situation. Tell me where that's fair. And I'd like to make one more point, that men are more likely to die in workplace deaths by suicide, yet nobody wants to address these issues that affect men at alarming rates. Why are we not addressing the suicide rate among men? Why are we not just addressing the mortality rate of men in the workplace? Why are these things being swept under the rug? I'll tell you why. And this is a good reason. The reason we're sweeping it under the rug is because it doesn't fit the liberal leftist agenda. The liberal left wants everything to be about women are oppressed. They spew the myth of the gender pay gap like it's cancer. It comes out of their mouth like, I guess you could say, word vomit. For those of you who see Mean Girls, you know what I'm talking about. It's literally like they spew this gender pay gap myth like it's just word vomit. They can't help it. It keeps coming up and coming up and coming up. And it's just insane. It's like, why are we not addressing these issues? And it's because the liberals don't want these issues addressed. Because the liberals want to keep men down. Because a lot of your liberals are feminist. Actually, I shouldn't say a lot. Almost all your liberals are feminist. So for them, by them keeping these numbers under wraps, and I actually found out the leading cause of males in the U.S. is suicide. Or not in the U.S., but in the U.K. is suicide. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this video before it gets a little too long. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're new to my channel, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the little bell button so you guys get all the notifications when I post more videos. And I will see you guys in my next video.